Hi, my name's Ben. I work for the Game House, and today we're going to be looking at a quick draft profile I threw together for the Carolina Panthers in 2023. So first things first, there isn't going to be any there isn't going to be any tape in these draft profiles. It is hard for an organization like us to get the rights to it without sort of fighting YouTube and the people that own it. So we're just going to be talking through it, but rest assured there's plenty of tape out there that you can go check out if you're interested in these players as a Panthers fan or as an NFL draft fan. So I went ahead and looked at some team needs. As you can see, I said here they need about everything because they're in rebuild mode. Obviously, they're going to go with a quarterback first, and then they also need a wide receiver because they traded away DJ Moore in their journey to get the number one overall pick. Now, it's important to remember that Frank Reich, who was brought in, is an offensive coach. He's seen as an offensive guru and a quarterback whisperer. So he'll want to rebuild that offense quickly, and the defense in Carolina is actually just fine last year. It isn't Super Bowl caliber just yet. They'll need to see what pieces they need to add after this season, as they're probably not going for the playoffs this year. But it's time to get some offense in the fold right here. And they may just go with the best player available in a lot of spots, especially in the later rounds. But I went ahead and looked at the first 3 rounds and their first 3 picks. So first I have C.J. Stroud, who was the quarterback at Ohio State. Now, our Joe DiTullio went ahead and did a C.J. Stroud draft profile. You can find that on our website. Let's look at his stats right here. He had almost 4,000 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, 6 picks, 66.3% completion, 9.5 yards per attempt, and 108 rushing yards. Now, for someone who's seen as the most accurate quarterback in the draft, that 66.3% completion seems a little low, but you got to remember, he's playing with college receivers that won't all go pro, so they're not all excellent, and he might have had some drops in there. Joe lists his strengths as accuracy first and foremost. He can hit targets short range, intermediate, or deep, and he throws a really well-placed ball. I wouldn't say Aaron Rodgers well-placed, but it is very, very accurate. He throws receivers open, which is good at the NFL level because sometimes you're going to have to throw the ball to where they're going to be rather than where they are right now. So running that sort of pro-style offense at Ohio State will help him out. His arm strength is good. It's not excellent. It's not like Anthony Richardson or anything, but it is NFL ready right now, and he can push the ball downfield, as you'll see he says right here. Some of his weaknesses: Stroud doesn't have a deep history of making plays out of structure, as Joe says. He prefers to make passes from the pocket. It means he's not really an improviser. Is that something that Frank Reich could coach out of him? Absolutely. He could encourage Stroud to be a little more improvisational on the field. And I know lots of people will be saying, well, why not Bryce Young or why not one of the other quarterbacks? If you trade all the way up to the number 1 pick and give up as much as they did, they're going to want somebody who's ready right away. Bryce Young seems to also be NFL ready right now, but he is a little bit small, and as we've seen, Kyler Murray, who's also a bit small, has had some injury issues. So I personally believe they're going to go with Stroud, who can start day one and probably won't have a lot of those injury concerns that Bryce Young would, trying to see over the offensive line. All right, so in the second round, I have a replacement for DJ Moore. As you can see, I say right here, Zay Flowers and Jordan Addison are both sort of dream picks. Zay Flowers has been shooting up draft boards here lately, and of course, I don't think the Panthers, after trading all the way up to the number 1 pick, are going to trade back up into the first round to go get him. And Jordan Addison has been falling. However, as you can see, I say here, it's hard to see a scenario in which a wide receiver hungry team doesn't take him before this pick, even though he is falling down draft boards. He's just too talented, and his upside is too big. So I have them picking here Josh Downs, and we'll go to the ESPN stats right here. He's had an incredibly productive last 2 years, 101 catches in 2021, 94 in 2022, over 1,000 yards in both seasons, over 1,300 yards in 2021, and 19 touchdowns in that time. That's just simply NFL ready right now. Is he going to automatically be as good as DJ Moore? I don't think so, but I don't think you're trying to replace him outright right away. I know they traded him away, but I'm sure they think they can coach him up to be that sort of DJ Moore replacement. And then finally, this might be a little controversial, but I have Tucker Kraft, the tight end out of South Dakota State University. Going with 3 offensive players in a row for their first 3 picks, like I said, might be a bit of a controversial opinion. But like I said, Frank Reich really wants to build up this offense and get his side of the ball correct right away while leaving the defense to his defensive staff. But there is going to be a run on tight ends. A lot of people are high on this tight end draft class this year. So Tucker Kraft may be the best available for their 3rd round pick, which is number 93 overall. We're going to go to the NFL Draft Combine website here. You see, he's not super fast, but he is more athletic than he looks, and he's faster than he might seem to be just given his combine numbers. Remember, combine numbers aren't always everything. He runs great routes, and he can run after the catch and run to the catch, which is huge for a tight end, running into the middle of the field into all that danger. Their weaknesses here, as you can see, average speed to threaten the seam. A seam route, if you don't know, is just when the tight end breaks off the line and goes straight forward trying to get a big chunk play. And even though the NFL thinks his route running isn't the best for that level, I sort of disagree. I think he'll be good right away. South Dakota State, as most people know, is sort of the premier Tier 2 college football team, so I don't think it'll be too bad right out of the gate. So those are just my first 3 picks for the Carolina Panthers. I'm sure there's going to be some disagreement. That's all good. That's what we're here for in draft season, but I'd love to know what you think down below if you do disagree. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and stay tuned to the Game House.